So, Matthew, let's move on. We've got a pay-per-view coming up this Saturday. So, do you want to run us through, what are we looking for in terms of matches?
Okay, so UFC 280 Oliveira versus Makhachev, taking place technically. Oh, it is taking place October 22nd. Taking place October 22nd at the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi, which actually was being built during the pandemic. It was just one of those pre-planned things, and so what's gonna happen there is fighting for the vacant lightweight title, Charles Oliveira, who was the champion, but had it's like I thought that by moving up to featherweight he would have gotten his weight issues taken care of, but he was stripped of the title because he missed weight at lightweight. So he's fighting to get his title back against up-and-comer Islam Makhachev, who is a teammate of the retired Khabib Nurmagomedov. And we know how hardcore those guys are.
Yeah, they're pretty hardcore.
Yeah. He has one loss, and it was at it was 7 years ago, his second fight in the UFC.
So he hasn't lost since.
Yeah, and the guy he lost, Drew Adriano Martins, isn't even in the UFC anymore.
I mean, that's
and
pretty
hasn't fought in over a year. So
that's pretty something, though, to go 7 years without losing.
Well, Khabib went
undefeated.
Yeah, completely undefeated. So let's see.
That's a record that's never gonna get touched.
Yeah, that's just 20.
Was it 29 and
0? I think it's 29 and 0. Okay, so then at bantamweight we have Aljamain Sterling just coming off of his title defense against Petr Yan, which he only got because Petr Yan decided to kick him with both knees on the ground. This was nowhere near the borderline where one knee was on the ground. Both knees were on the ground. That is still, regardless of what American rule set you're using, that is a grounded opponent. And he was winning too. He was cruising in. And then Aljo decides, I'm going to earn this belt. So he completely destroys Petr Yan in the title defense. And to me, he actually won the title there. Like, if there was any doubt about whether he was the champion, he is now the champion. And he's going against a certain TJ Dillashaw.
A certain TJ Dillashaw, yep. That's right. So Dillashaw still around, I see. Yep.
Yeah, and he after his suspension, he was able to earn his way back to this.
Yep.
And then speaking of Petr Yan, he is facing off Sugar Sean O'Malley, one of the a product of the Dana White Contender Series.
So do you think they put Petr Yan on this card on purpose?
Possibly.
Given what you just explained to me, the history of his, fighting for the title.
Possibly. So anyways, yeah, he's going against the up-and-comer Sugar Sean O'Malley, who this is his most challenging fight to date. Sean O'Malley, one loss to Marlon Vera. And he if Andrei Sukhomov had actually been a little bit more savvy, then he would have won that fight, but instead Sean O'Malley won it on one leg, and then was out for 2 years because of what that did to his leg. So But he hasn't really gotten any big name wins. I mean, Tyrion Ware, Andres Sakmas, Jose Quinones, Eddie Wineland, Thomas Almeida. Accidentally, I poked Pedro Munoz. Ryland. This is his most challenging fight to date. This is gonna say whether he's ready for the big time or not. Then we've got Iranian American Benil Dariush going up against Matsav Gemrock, and Dariush, despite being a veteran, he's kind of gone on a tear lately. Yeah, he's undefeated since 2018. And he's beat some big names. Ferguson.
Oh.
Jakar Close, Frank Camacho, Drew Dober, Thiago Moises. So he's been beating some. These aren't no namers.
All right. And then our opener.
His first fight in over a year. No, the opener is Caitlin Chu Kayin, who is a former title contender, versus Menon Fiorot, who is French.
All right. So it looks like, Caitlin is the number one ranked. So
I'd say Menon, if she wins this, has earned the next title shot against Bullet Valentina.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting.
And those are really the names of note.
Okay.
I could go over everyone else on the fight card, but those are the real names of note.
Okay.
Something else to point out is the fact that so this is what she said in interviews, but Tatiana Suarez, who before her major injury was a contender at strawweight, which is 115. She says she wants to move up to flyweight because she apparently the weight drain was so much that she was going into all of her fights tired. And I'm just like, how in the world were you able to go into all of your fights tired and destroy all of those opponents? And I'm just like, man, if that's her tired, I can't wait to see her at flyweight where she's like not tired. I'd love to see that fight against Bullet Valentina.
All right.
That's UFC 280. I believe it's going to be during the what's it called? It's gonna I believe they're gonna be it's because they're doing it according to Abu Dhabi time. It's gonna be during the afternoon. Like, actually, I think it starts at 11. Pacific time.
All right. Well.
So yeah, that's the preview of UFC 280.
All right. Good to go. Well, Matthew, I mean, what would be your predictions for the title fights?
I think Makayev is going. If I had to place money on it, I think Makayev is going to take this one. Oliveira is pretty tough as nails. He's coming back from some stuff, but well, first of all, he needs to come in on weight, which Makayev, I don't think Makayev has had that issue. Let me double check.
So what happens if Oliveira misses weight?
Then Makayev is the only one eligible for the fight, just like in the last fight.
So they would have a fight, and if he wins, he's a champion. But if Oliveira wins, then it's just
remains vacant.
Okay.
Okay, let me double check.
And then what would be your prediction for? Well, I'll let you check your thing first, and then we'll get your prediction on Sterling versus Dillashaw.
Yeah. Makayev has not missed weight.
All right. So Sterling versus Dillashaw. What say you on this?
Okay. Sterling versus Dillashaw. I'm gonna give Sterling the slight edge in this one.
Mm-hmm.
But Dillashaw could take it. He's got the grappling pedigree. Sterling has a grappling pedigree. They're both very good on their feet.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm giving Sterling the slight edge, but it wouldn't surprise me if Dillashaw came away with this one.